we have to give it a name. The food in fast food restaurants, do they have a name in the menu? Yes, probably. But the names are plain, uninteresting, right? If, for example, you're going to order fried chicken, I'm sure you'll find in the menu under the poultry section, fried chicken. Nothing special. However, in upscale restaurants, a lot of times they use very fancy, very attractive names. Sometimes they are even too creative. You don't know what they are talking about. And it arouses your curiosity, and then you have to ask the waiter, what is it? Right? For the same token, we must give our speech a title. Ordinary speeches, well, they use the boring titles. How to blah, blah, blah. How to blah, blah, blah. Very boring. The moment you heard this topic, you already know what the speaker is going to talk about. There won't be mystery anymore. So try to choose a topic, try to choose a title that's short, catchy, and easy to remember. In my district champion speech, the title of my speech was 3 words, 4 syllables. Now, after hearing that speech title, did it entice you to think what those 3 words and 4 syllables were? Yes, probably. Right, I see some heads nodding. However, were you able to know or guess what did I talk about in that speech? No, right? So it created mystery. Those 3 words were, I am sorry. Now, if I use I am sorry as a speech title, everyone will know right away what I'm going to talk about, right? There won't be mystery anymore. In that speech, I was telling the audience that I am sorry is only made up of 3 words and 4 syllables. But why is it that many of us find it so difficult to say it out? Sometimes it's even more difficult than saying a tongue twister. A tongue twister like, Betty was some butter and the butter was bitter, so Betty was a better butter, make the bitter butter better. Did you get that? Did you get that? No, I was talking about the message, the point. Use catchy, short, and simple speech titles. Alright? So that everyone will remember your speech. What's next? Now that we have a theme, we have a title, what's next? We have to have advanced preparation. Food in fast food restaurants. They're called fast food because they have minimal preparation time. Sometimes they are even instant, right? I remember when I was much younger, I went to a local chanteng and I ordered steak. Although I do not expect that they will grill my steak, but I was expecting they will fry both sides of it, right? You know what they did? They throw the whole piece of meat into boiling oil, like they are frying French fries. That was really quick, you know. But that was also my last piece of fast food steak. Upscale restaurants, on the other hand, they will put a lot of preparation into preparing your dish, right? And that's why sometimes it takes hours or even days. And that's why it tastes so good and so tender. For the same token, ordinary speeches, do you think they have a lot of preparation put into it? A lot of times they were prepared the day they are supposed to be delivered, right? So you won't expect it to be very effective, very powerful. For a contest, we must have advanced preparation, at least even weeks ahead. Try to brainstorm themes for your speech, right? Try to know your audience. Try to do some research, and then filter out, and then decide on the theme. And then you start to write your speech. Now remember this, your first draft is never, ever your final version. You have to keep revising it again and again. until finally you think you come up with a masterpiece. And then you start to rehearse your speech. If you forget everything that I've said this morning, I would like to remember this. Preparation is the key to a good speech. Prepare your speech. Next. Now that we have a theme, a title, advanced preparation, what do we need next? We need to spice it up. Right. Fast food restaurants, the food in the fast food restaurants. What kind of spice do they use? Probably the common ones, the cheap ones. Right? Salt, pepper, and probably MSG. Right? Upscale restaurants. The spices they use, probably they use a concoction of different kinds of spices. Herbs, probably cinnamon, basil leaves, and all these things. That's why they not only satisfy your stomach, they also satisfy your 5 senses. Right? So how do you add spices into your speech? How do you add spices in your speech? Today, I'm going to share with you 7 spices that you could add. First, well, this is not an exhaustive list, again, but I think this should be good enough, right? First, humor. The audience. You know, with humor, you bring fun to your speech. You make your speech come alive. As Maximum, right, mentioned a while ago, we want to have fun while we learn. So try to create some humor in your speech. Now, how do you create humor? Well, remember what I did at the start? Play with the words. Right? You can play with the words. Or you can make self-deprecating jokes on yourself, like what I did. Right? What else? Probably you can use twist, which is another spice I'm going to talk about soon. Now, when you use humor, make sure it's related to what you're talking about. Don't just add in humor for the sake of having fun. Right? It won't be effective. The next spice, twist. Twist creates an element of surprise. You say something that brings the audience towards one direction, and then you say another thing that brings the audience toward the same direction, and then you say something that totally brings the audience towards a totally different direction. They create a twist, a surprise. And that is very effective.